Ever done the whole spiritual self-improvement checklist? You know the one. Affirmations written on sticky notes, vision boards plastered with Lamborghinis and beach houses, a gratitude journal filled with thank you universe written so many times your hand cramps. And yet your bank account still mocks you, your love life still feels like a bad sitcom, and your dream life feels more like a Pinterest board than reality? Yeah, welcome to the club. I've been there too. Here's the thing. The internet is bloated with law of attraction hacks that promise you yachts but deliver rubber duckies. You sit there whispering, I am wealthy, and the only thing multiplying in your life is frustration. Most people are trying to think their wishes into existence when the real secret, the one Neville Goddard actually taught, is about something way deeper. It's not about thinking, it's about feeling it real. Neville's whole trick, his magic key, is this: your subconscious mind is the 3D printer of your reality, and you can either feed it blurry, half-hearted thoughts that evaporate like soap bubbles, or you can drop in a vivid emotional blueprint, so real your subconscious stamps it as fact. Once it does, game over. The outer world bends to match. So let's cut the fluff. In the next few minutes, actually, let's be honest, the next 30, you and I are going to walk through Neville's exact technique. Not watered down, not turned into 5 hacks for success clickbait. The actual method that takes your desires from maybe someday to already done. Grab a pen, because this isn't background noise. This is something you'll want to test tonight. Why the usual manifestation stuff fails. Let's start with why most of the law of attraction content online doesn't work. Picture this. You wake up, drag yourself to the mirror, and say, I am rich. You try to imagine your dream villa in the south of France, the soulmate who laughs at all your dumb jokes, the endless stream of passive income rolling into your account. By lunchtime, the villa is still just a stock photo, your soulmate is still your cat, and your bank account is still laughing in overdraft fees. Why? Because thoughts without feelings are like coins made of soap. They look shiny, they make you feel clever for a second, but they melt before they can buy you anything. Your conscious mind is like the chatterbox friend who makes big promises but never follows through. Don't worry, I'll totally help you move this weekend. Yeah, right. But your subconscious, that's the loyal friend who shows up with a truck, no questions asked. The catch? Your subconscious doesn't cache words. It only caches emotions. This is the critical thing most people never hear. You've been told, think positive and the universe will deliver. Neville flips that on its head. He says, forget thinking. Reality bends when you feel it already done. That's the missing gear. That's why vision boards collect dust and affirmations feel like lies. Because unless you move into the feeling state of your wish already fulfilled, you're just decorating your mind with pretty wallpaper. The science why bit, don't skip this. Quick nerdy D2. Right before you nod off at night, your brain shifts gears. It slides from busy beta waves, the ones that let you overthink everything, down into slower alpha and then dreamy theta. That in-between twilight zone where you're half awake, half dreaming, that's called the hypnagogic state. And it's not woo-woo. Neuroscientists now call it memory reconsolidation. Translation: whatever feeling you soak your brain within that window gets stamped as this is real. Think of it like hitting save on a Word doc. When you're fully awake, your brain is just typing away thoughts, doubts, ideas. But nothing sticks. In that drowsy pre-sleep state, every keystroke autosaves. Drop in a feeling of wealth, love, success, relief. It gets filed as fact. Not theory, fact. And once the subconscious accepts something as fact, your outer world eventually has to rearrange to match it. So this isn't just spiritual poetry. There's actual lab coat evidence backing what Neville was teaching decades ago. Neville's core technique, SATS. Neville called it the state akin to sleep or SATS. Sounds fancy, but it's ridiculously simple once you get the hang of it. Here's how it goes. Step 1, nighttime. Put your phone in the kitchen. Seriously, that glowing screen is a dream killer. Step 2, lie down, eyes shut, melt into that pre-sleep yawn. Don't force it. Just let your body get heavy. Step 3, pick one desire. And I mean one, not 10. Not your whole Amazon wish list. Just one. A crisp 3-second loop. like a GIF of your life already fulfilled. Maybe it's your banking app showing the exact balance you want. Maybe it's your partner's hand slipping into yours, warm, a little rough. Maybe even the faint smell of coffee on their breath. Step 4. Live that loop. Feel it. Not as if you're watching Netflix, but as if you're in it. Feel the texture, the weight, the smell, the sound. And most importantly, feel the sigh of relief, though it's already mine vibe. Step 5. Let it carry you into sleep. Don't force it. Don't chant it. Don't worry if you lose the loop halfway through. If your eyelids feel like garage doors closing, you're in the sweet spot. Drift off. That's it. No 40-minute meditation. No mantra marathons. Just one crisp scene, one loop, one feeling, then lights out. Why people mess this up? Now, most people hear this and immediately screw it up in predictable ways. Mistake number 1. Cramming 10 desires into one session. I want a new car, a new job, a soulmate, perfect skin, and also world peace. No, your subconscious is loyal, but it's not smart. Give it one clear order. Mistake number 2. Watching the scene like you're binging a show. Wrong. You've got to live in the scene, through your own eyes. Smell the air. Feel the texture. Don't just observe, participate. Mistake number 3. Waiting for fireworks. People think they're supposed to feel goosebumps or see angel numbers exploding across the sky. Nope. The vibe you're going for isn't thrill. It's natural. Not OMG, but of course. Like slipping into shoes that already fit. Stories from the trenches. Let me give you a couple real examples, because stories stick better than steps. I once worked with a guy, let's call him James, who was stuck in a dead-end job. He tried everything. Affirmations, gratitude lists, even writing himself fake checks like Jim Carrey did. Nothing changed. Finally, I told him, cut all that. Pick one sad scene. He chose to imagine walking into his manager's office and shaking hands on a promotion. Simple scene. He looped it every night. 2 weeks later, his company announced a restructuring. James got tapped for a new role with a raise he hadn't even asked for. Coincidence? Maybe. But here's the kicker. He said the handshake in real life felt exactly like the one he'd been looping. Another woman, Sarah, used SATs to manifest a relationship. She kept it simple. She imagined lying on the couch with someone's arm draped over her, feeling the weight, the warmth, the steady breathing. No face, no details, just the feeling. Within a month, she met someone through a mutual friend, and their very first date ended with them sitting on her couch, his arm draped exactly as she'd imagined. The pattern here isn't magic in the Disney sense. It's the subconscious getting programmed with a new this is normal feeling, and the outer world bending to match. So now you know the basic SATs process. Simple scene. Repeat in the drowsy pre-sleep state. Drift off. Done. If you stopped right there and just did that consistently, you'd already start seeing your reality bend in weird, almost freaky ways. But since we're going deep here, let's layer on some of Neville's more advanced moves. These are the things most people skip, but they're like turning a regular car into a turbocharged machine. Revision. Editing the past like a bad movie. One of Neville's most overlooked techniques is something he called revision. Think of it like going back into the editing booth of your own life. Most of us carry around cringe memories that replay like a broken record. That awkward rejection. That time someone said you weren't good enough. That fight you still stew over years later. Each time you replay it, you reprogram your subconscious with the same wound. Revision flips the script. Same SATs process. You get drowsy, then instead of imagining a new desire, you rerun an old memory, but change it. You rewrite the scene until it feels different. Neville used to say, change the past in imagination, and you change it in fact. Sounds insane, right? But think of it like this, your subconscious doesn't care about time. It doesn't know the difference between 2002 and 2025. It only knows the emotional blueprint you stamp into it. If you replay an old heartbreak and give it a new ending, like the ex apologizing or you walking away empowered, that feeling gets stored as truth. The old pain loses its grip. I know someone who used revision on a memory of getting humiliated in school. For years he hated speaking up in meetings because that memory was wired into him. After a week of revising the scene, imagining himself delivering the answer confidently and the class clapping. It felt so normal he actually volunteered in a meeting for the first time ever. The kicker? His co-workers actually applauded. He said it was like the revised memory had bled into real life. Congratulations, borrowing pride from the future. Another trick Neville taught was what he called the congratulations technique. The idea is simple. Imagine someone congratulating you on your success. You don't have to imagine the whole outcome, just the aftermath. Picture a friend hugging you and saying, "Wow, I can't believe you pulled it off." Feel their pride, their excitement. Why does this work? Because the subconscious doesn't need step-by-step instructions. It just needs a feeling. Congratulations is a shortcut to the vibe of already done. I used this myself once. I wanted to land a particular collaboration, but instead of visualizing the contract of the meeting, I just imagined a buddy slapping me on the back and saying, "Dude, you did it." I looped that scene. 2 weeks later, the collab came through. It was so spot on it gave me chills. Catch the mood, the all-day hack. Now, SATS is powerful because you're dropping feelings into the subconscious when it's most impressionable. But what about the other 16 hours of the day? That's where Neville's Catch the Mood comes in. Here's how it works. At random moments in your day, pause and ask, what would I feel right now if my desire were already fulfilled? Then slide into that mood, even for a few seconds. Example, you're stuck in traffic. Instead of stewing, ask, what would I feel if I already had the job I wanted? You'd probably feel calm, unbothered, maybe even amused. Shift into that vibe. Do it often enough, and the wish-fulfilled mood starts becoming your default station. This is huge because life throws curveballs constantly. Bills show up. People test your patience. Your old self-concept tries to drag you back. Catching the mood is like snapping back to the channel of your desired reality over and over until the dial locks in place. Live demo, Money Edition. Let's walk through another live demo, because this is where it clicks. Say your desire is a surprise $5,000 bump this month. Here's how you'd SATS it. You lie down at night, phone in the kitchen, body heavy. Pick your scene. Maybe it's you checking your bank app and seeing the jump. Hear the ding of the notification. Feel the weight of the phone in your hand, the cool glass back against your palm. Shoulders sag, sweet relief. Loop that moment. You don't need a long movie, just a short clip that captures the "it's done" vibe. Now here's the twist. The next day, catch the mood. Every time you glance at your phone, ask, how would I stand if that 5K already hit? Straighten your back. Let your jaw unclench. Feel the casual relief. These micro moments are like glue. They lock the SATS impression into your self-concept. Troubleshooting doubt. Of course, your brain will try to sabotage you. You'll be looping your SAT scene and suddenly a thought pops in. This is stupid. You're delusional. Who are you kidding? Congratulations, you just met the gatekeeper. That voice is proof you're close to the subconscious doorway. If it weren't working, your brain wouldn't be panicking. So what do? Let the thought float by like elevator music. Don't argue, don't fight it. Just drop back into the feeling. Remember, the subconscious doesn't argue. It only records. I had someone tell me, but what if I'm faking it? My answer, of course you're faking it. That's the whole point. You fake it in imagination until it feels natural. Eventually the subconscious can't tell the difference. And when it can't tell the difference, the outer world has no choice but to mirror it. Timeline of results. Here's where most people blow it. They expect sparklers the next morning. I did SATS last night. Where's my Lamborghini? Slow down. The outer world is the last to notice. Here's the usual timeline. First clue. A random thought pops in like, I always have more than enough. Second, a small sign, a refund check, a friend offering lunch, a stranger mentioning exactly the thing you've been focusing on. Third, the lump sum, the full outcome, the physical shift. From what I've seen with clients, smaller desires, under 10K, simple outcomes, tend to show within 3 to 10 days. Bigger shifts, like moving countries or doubling your income, can take a month or more. But the speed has less to do with the size of the desire and more to do with how quickly you drop the R's and stay in the mood. It's like ordering food. Some meals take 10 minutes, some take 40. Either way, once you've placed the order and the chef's cooking, you don't keep barging into the kitchen asking, "Is it done yet?" You chill. You sip your drink. You trust the process. Same thing here. When nothing seems to happen. Now let's address the elephant in the room. What if you do SATs for weeks and nothing shows? Does that mean it's all BS? Not necessarily. Sometimes the shift happens inside you first. I've had people say, nothing happened, but when I dig deeper, they realize they've stopped feeling anxious about money, or they notice they are suddenly more confident in conversations. These invisible shifts are like roots growing underground. The fruit comes later, but the tree is already forming. And sometimes, the very feeling of nothing's happening is the old self-concept clinging on. Your job is to catch the mood anyway. Keep slipping into the wish-fulfilled vibe. The outer world will catch up. Self-concept, the glue that holds it all together. Here's the kicker Neville emphasized over and over. You can SATs all you want, but if your self-concept contradicts it, the result will fizzle. If deep down you still whisper, "I'm always broke," you can imagine $5,000 all night, but the subconscious will hit cancel. That's why part of SATs is also planting micro-scenes that upgrade your identity. Imagine yourself scrolling memes on a lazy Sunday, casually thinking, "How? Money's actually easy for me now." Feel the shrug. That tiny identity shift locks the bigger gains in place. I once had a client who kept SATing for a new job. The interviews would come, but offers always slipped through. We realized her self-concept was still stuck in "I'm the underdog, I'm overlooked." So we built a new SAT scene. Her friend saying, "It's so obvious you'd get hired. They'd be crazy not to." Within weeks, she landed not one but 2 offers. It wasn't the job scene that clicked, it was the self-concept scene. Daily integration routine. So how do you bulletproof this? Simple routine. Nights 1 through 4, SATs on your main desire. Next morning, take 60 seconds to catch the mood while brushing your teeth. Feel the relief as if it's done. Daytime, every phone check, every mirror glance, every idle moment. Ask, how would I stand if it were already done? Straighten up, breathe deeper, shift into that vibe. It sounds almost stupidly simple, but tiny invisible acts stack into undeniable outer proof. Neville's case studies, proof in the wild. Let's talk receipts, because Neville wasn't just some guy preaching in abstract. He had students, regular people, not monks on a mountain, who tried this stuff and watched their lives flip. One story that sticks is of a woman who wanted to move to a new apartment. Money was tight, and every logical reason said stay put. But Neville told her, "Don't sweat the how, just SATs it." So every night, she imagined herself walking through the door of her dream place, dropping her keys on the counter, feeling the vibe of "I live here." Within a month, a friend called her about an opening in a building she'd always loved. The rent? Cheaper than her current place. She moved in the next week. Another student imagined a letter arriving. Back then, it wasn't email that confirmed he got a job he desperately wanted. He looped the feeling of opening the envelope and reading the words. Weeks later, he got the letter. Same envelope, same wording. Neville swore the subconscious doesn't just attract vague outcomes, it can script exact details. And then there are the healing stories. One man revised a doctor's prognosis. Instead of replaying the doctor saying, "It's bad," he looped the doctor smiling and saying, "You're perfectly healthy." He did it night after night. Within months, his tests came back clear. Doctors were baffled. Neville wasn't. The science of imagination. Now, some people roll their eyes at stories like that. So let's bridge it with science. Modern neuroscience has this concept called neuroplasticity. Your brain literally rewires itself based on repeated experiences. But here's the kicker. Your brain doesn't need real experiences. Imagined ones work just as well. Athletes use this all the time. Olympic skiers mentally rehearse their runs, and brain scans show the same neural pathways light up as if they were on the slopes. Musicians who practice in imagination actually improve finger dexterity. Soldiers train resilience by visualizing scenarios before they happen. So when Neville says, "Live in the end," he's basically saying, use your imagination as a rehearsal space for reality. Your brain doesn't know the difference, so it wires your body your emotions, and eventually your circumstances to match the script you've been looping. Extended Guided Practice, Love Edition. Let's do a longer walkthrough. Say your desire isn't money, but love. You want a relationship that feels safe, joyful, real. Lie down at night. Phone away. Body heavy. Close your eyes. Now don't imagine swiping profiles or awkward first dates. Jump straight to the end. Imagine a lazy Sunday morning. Sunlight sneaks through the curtains. You're lying in bed, and you feel the warmth of someone's arm draped over you. You hear the soft rhythm of their breathing. Maybe the faint smell of coffee drifting in from the kitchen. You don't see their face. You don't need to. Just feel the safety, the comfort, the "of course this is my life" vibe. Loop that scene. Feel the mattress under you, the sheets, the weight of their arm. Let your body sigh in relief. Drift off. That's your love sats. Now, during the day, catch the mood. Ask yourself, how would I walk into this cafe if I already had that relationship? You'd probably stand taller, move slower, radiate a quiet ease. Embody that vibe, even for 30 seconds. Do it over and over. That's how the scene leaks into daily life until it becomes your baseline identity. Extended Guided Practice, Career Edition. Now let's switch gears. Say you want a new career. Maybe you're stuck in a job that drains you, and you want something meaningful. Nighttime sats. Imagine walking into your new office, or seeing your name on the company Slack, or hearing a coworker say, "We're so glad you're here." Keep it short. A 3-second loop. Don't overstuff it. Daytime catch the mood. When you're at your current job, instead of grumbling, ask, how would I feel right now if I already had that new role? You'd probably feel unbothered, maybe even amused by the old stress. Shift into that. Do it often enough, and the old job starts feeling like an expired chapter. And guess what? The bridge of incidents shows up, the LinkedIn message, the job ad, the random introduction that lines you up with the new role. Deeper psychology. Why this works. Let's zoom out. Why does this work? Why does imagination bend reality? Because your outer world is a mirror of your inner state. Not your random thoughts, but your deep-seated self-concept. If you see yourself as broke, unloved, unlucky, that's the movie your subconscious keeps projecting. You can slap affirmations on top of it, but the projector won't change until you swap out the real. SATS is the real swap. It bypasses the noisy conscious chatter and drops a new film strip straight into the subconscious. Over time, the subconscious says, okay, this is who we are now. And because your behavior, your decisions, your micro-expressions, your vibe all flow from your subconscious, the outer world inevitably rearranges. People respond differently. Opportunities show up. Coincidences line up. It's not magic in the sense of violating physics. It's magic in the sense of pulling the strings behind the scenes without brute force. Wild Neville idea. Everyone is you pushed out. Now, this one is controversial, but Neville taught it. So let's go there. He said, everyone is you pushed out. Meaning, the people in your life are reflections of your own assumptions. If you assume people don't respect you, you'll keep meeting disrespect. If you assume you're admired, you'll find yourself surrounded by admiration. Test it. Pick one person. In SATS, imagine them treating you exactly how you wish they would. Hear their voice. Feel their tone. Then watch how they start showing up differently. Sometimes subtly, sometimes dramatically. I know a woman who tested this with her boss. She imagined her boss smiling at her and saying, "You're doing incredible work." Within a week, he said those exact words. Not close, word for word. Creepy? Maybe. Empowering? Definitely. Why most people quit too soon. Here's the sad part. Most people dabble for a night or two, don't see instant fireworks, and quit. They treat imagination like Amazon Prime. I ordered my soulmate last night. Where's the delivery? But the subconscious doesn't work on demand. It works on persistence. Neville said, an assumption, though false, if persisted in, will harden into fact. Persistence is the secret. Not straining, not forcing. Just gently, night after night, living in the end until it feels natural. And natural is the key word. You know you've nailed it when it feels boringly normal. Not exciting, not shocking, just, of course. That's when the shift locks in. Big closing push. So here's my challenge to you. Tonight, don't scroll TikTok until you pass out. Don't binge another 5 manifestation hacks video. Do one sat scene, one loop, one feeling. Drift off in it. Tomorrow, catch the mood once or twice during the day. Do that for a week. Don't overcomplicate it. Don't second guess. Just test it. Because once you see your first coincidence, your first eerie alignment, you'll know this isn't fluff. And once you know, you'll never look at reality the same way again. You don't need another affirmation playlist. You don't need another guru. You need one crisp scene and one steady feeling. Nail that, and the world has no choice but to rearrange. So do it tonight. Then tomorrow, notice the first weird thing that happens. A text, a refund, a random compliment. Whatever it is, clock it. That's your proof the gears are turning. Drop your story in the comments. I'll pin the wildest one. So here's what I want you to do. Don't just let this be another cool idea you half remember tomorrow. Test it tonight. Pick one scene, one loop, one vibe of already done and fall asleep in it. Then come back here and tell me the first weird little sign you notice. Because you will. Drop it in the comments, and I'll pin the craziest story. And if you're serious about rewriting your life with Neville's methods, hit subscribe, smash that like, and share this with the one friend who keeps overthinking everything at 2 a.m. This way the algorithm nudges this exact method into the hands of people who need it most. Maybe that's even how you found it. Reality doesn't wait. Your new chapter starts the second you feel it real. So do it tonight. Then tomorrow, come back and tell me what shifted. Reality bends when you feel it real. Try it and see for yourself.